Up next, it's one-on-one action as the Learning Tree's Bryan Keith goes face-to-face with Fuego del Sol. We saw last week a major 20-man battle royal to determine who will be facing the Ring of Honor World Champion after Brody King, and that was won by Homicide. And we all know that there's been an announcement by Homicide last week that, in fact, that was his last match. Homicide has retired from active competition due to a cyst in his brain, and it's causing a lot of issues with his sight and everything, and it was best for him to retire. He was meant to face Bryan Keith here tonight, but that obviously was now called off. Homicide, one of the most best wrestling athletes in Ring of Honor and TNA and all around wrestling in general, and it's a shame that he's not going to get that opportunity that he earned last week. Bryan Keith now literally just come off a collision against Brody King, so he's hoping to redeem himself in this match. From Greens Point, Texas, and weighs in at 189 pounds and stands in at 5'9". And here comes Fuego del Sol now, the standing opponent for Homicide here tonight. We haven't seen Fuego del Sol for a little while. He stands in at 5'10" and weighs in at 120 pounds, and he's from Mobile, Alabama. He's been active in the pro wrestling scene since 2014. And he's been in All Elite Wrestling since 2020. Referee signals for the bell, and already Fuego del Sol now coming in with all guns blazing as he goes straight after Bryan Keith. Snap suplex by Del Sol. Chris Jericho a little bit irate after the loss Bryan Keith took against Brody King. Chris Jericho will be defending that Ring of Honor Championship to Brody King at AEW Dynasty. Fuego del Sol now having control, overwhelming Bryan Keith now. Oh, he kicks Bryan Keith over the top ropes. Del Sol now. Oh, look at that. Through the ropes into a hurricanrana, and down goes Bryan Keith. Drop kick to the back. Both men are on the outside. The referee is making the counts. You can't win the match on the outside. And now Bryan Keith, oh, what a drop kick, and down goes Fuego del Sol. Bryan Keith now in the ring. Oh, look at that, a somersault plancher lands perfectly into Fuego del Sol. Now Del Sol is out. Both men getting back into the ring now. Oh, what a high knee there, and down goes Del Sol. Here's the cover by Bryan Keith. One. Oh, just a one count there. Del Sol kicks out. Bryan Keith now. The series of kicks, keep it on top of Fuego del Sol now. And now look at this. Oh, he's trying to hyperextend the leg there. Putting enough pressure on that knee. Overhand chop there by Bryan Keith. Fuego del Sol now. Look out here. Canadian Destroyer. Down he goes. 1, 2. Kick out by Bryan Keith. Fuego del Sol now whips him into the ropes. Waistlock applied there, and Del Sol drops Bryan Keith on his head. Bryan Keith now rolling to the outside at the feet of his teacher Chris Jericho. Look at this. Oh, what a tope suicida off of the top rope. And now Fuego del Sol trying to take back control. Beautiful drop kick by Del Sol, but they need to get back in the ring. Bryan Keith, though, breaking out of the grip of Fuego del Sol. Oh, look at this. Went for a springboard. Oh, but met with a power bomb there by Bryan Keith. And now, oh, a knee to the face there. Fuego del Sol in trouble now. Bryan Keith with a tie-up. Whips him into the ropes. Oh, Fuego del Sol breaks out of the grip of Bryan Keith. But Bryan Keith trying to fire back before Fuego del Sol could create any offense. Oh, what an axe kick there by Bryan Keith. And now Fuego del Sol whips him into the turnbuckle. Oh, what a drop kick. Down goes Bryan Keith. And Fuego del Sol fired up. Springboard moonsault there. And another. Down goes Fuego del Sol over the top of Bryan Keith. And Bryan Keith now is looking dazed. Whips him into the ropes. Oh, look out here. Oh, no. Power slam there by Bryan Keith, and then levels him with a knee drop. And again, I think we're starting to see blood coming from the mask of Fuego del Sol. Bryan Keith now. Both men now trying to exchange blows in the center of the ring. Trying to claim dominance in this match. Knife edge chop there by Del Sol. Right hand by Keith. Knife edge chop again. Right hand by Keith. This has been nothing but a full-out war since the bell rang. Both men giving it their all in this match. Both men trying to claim dominance in the ring. Oh, look at this. Spinning head scissors. He gets it. Here's the cover by Del Sol. One. Just a one count there. Del Sol looking a little bit dazed and disorientated. Whips Bryan Keith. Ducks under. Oh, what an uppercut to the gut of Fuego del Sol. And Bryan Keith now with a Harlem sidekick. And down goes Fuego del Sol. He's gone to the outside. Bryan Keith now with a flying high knee off of the top rope. Colliding into the chest of Fuego del Sol. Oh, kick to the gut there by Fuego del Sol. Oh, what a move there by Fuego del Sol. And a knee drop there. Del Sol now slides Bryan Keith back into the ring. Keith now in trouble. DDT by Fuego del Sol. Bryan Keith in trouble. Go for the shoulder. And look out here, what's he waiting for now? No, Bryan Keith stops him. Oh, high knee. And again, Fuego del Sol goes down. Bryan Keith now. Drop kick, down goes Fuego del Sol. What is Bryan Keith doing? It looks like he's trying to... Not sure what Bryan Keith was up to there. Mounts Fuego del Sol and rains those punches down onto Del Sol's face. And now he's exposing the top turnbuckle now. And now Fuego del Sol in trouble. No, he's coming back. Irish whip. Oh no, Fuego del Sol collides with the steel of the exposed turnbuckle. And now a tie-up by Bryan Keith now. Oh, look at this. Oh, he's set himself up into a tree of woe. Fuego del Sol now. Code breaker off of the corner. And Bryan Keith is in trouble. He's getting back into the ring. Elbows there by Bryan Keith. High knee there, down goes Fuego del Sol. I think he was waiting for Fuego del Sol to spring off the ropes there. What is he doing? Is he stalking the referee? What's he doing? Bryan Keith now with Fuego. Oh, Fuego del Sol drop kicks Bryan Keith into the ropes. And now he's hyperextending the knee. Going for a clothesline. No, Bryan Keith kick to the gut there. Elbows to the gut to Fuego del Sol. Bryan Keith now. Oh, look at this kick to the gut. Hooks the arms. Oh, beautiful power bomb there into a pin. 1, 2, 3, and Bryan Keith picks up the win. Bryan Keith managed to clear up the blemish on his win-loss record with a victory over Fuego del Sol. But Chris Jericho has been lecturing Bryan Keith and Big Bill about they need to pick up the wins where it matters. And this might matter right now to get Bryan Keith on his winning ways, but does Chris Jericho see it that way? Only time will tell. Will Bryan Keith be able to pick up another victory in his next contest?